What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Eddie Hearn, Gervonta Tank Davis. Get this. Eddie Hearn wants to sign Gervonta Tank Davis if he's out of contract with Mayweather Promotions. Matchroom boxing promoter Eddie Hearn says that he wants to try to sign Gervonta Tank Davis if he's out of contract with Mayweather Promotions after his last fight against Rolando Rolly Romero last Saturday. Hearn says Tank, 27-0 with 25 KOs, should listen to all offers, not just from his promotional company. He feels that Tank can do really well with other companies such as Matchroom. The way that Tank was buddy-buddy with Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerbe, after Rolly last night might not mean that he's going to re-sign with them. According to Hearn, it could have been the emotional high that Tank was on after the fight because him to act like he and Ellerbe were close pals. Quote, I haven't seen the fight, but I heard he was behind one of the scorecards. Rolly said that he won every round, said Eddie Hearn. On Gervonta Tank Davis' win over Rolly Romero last Saturday, he said, I've seen the knockout. Gervonta is a superstar, and you saw the crowd there. I think he's now at that level. When you talk about taking his career into his own hands, what a fighter that is generating that kind of attention will start doing is looking around the audience, thinking about the pay-per-view buys and saying, how much am I getting and how much is in the pot? That's why we always work on the model with our big stars where they receive the revenue for the fight and they see everything. Is Gervonta Tank Davis seeing the revenue that he's generating? It's going to be really interesting to see what he does, because if I'm Gervonta Tank Davis, I want to see how much was generated at the gate. I want to know what was the pay-per-view revenue and what was the sponsorship income. What were the global TV rights? And I want to make sure it was mine, because how much money are other people making out of Gervonta Tank Davis? I think he's going to take control of his career, and obviously if he's available, then we would love to work with him after a fight. And I've had it before when the relationship with a fighter is stretched. After a fight, it's always very pally-pally. Everyone is high on emotion, and what a great night. And yeah, we're going to stay working with you, but I don't know. I don't even know if he's out of contract. You just don't know. We'll certainly be reaching out to him to find out if he's out of contract, and if he is out of contract, he should listen to everybody, because there's going to be some really interesting offers out there for him. Here's one of the biggest stars in the sport. I've got a couple mega fights for him that we could make instantly that I know our broadcaster partners would do everything they could to try to make that happen. So let's see, said Eddie Hearn. Let me counterpunch. We have heard that Gervonta Tank Davis is going with Leonard Ellerbe, back with Mayweather Promotions. And I think that's typical, but I think that's premature. You know, it's not like we haven't seen this before, right? When you're talking about the Zone versus regular pay-per-view, or Matchroom now versus Mayweather Promotions. Well, we do know that Mayweather's model is solely pay-per-view, and they get an upside to the pay-per-view with a very minimal salary. Okay, their salary is not what it's like other guys' salary when you compare it to Matchroom or ESPN or whatever. ESPN's kind of, medium, but Matchroom is by far the highest if you want to talk about stars. Okay. And, of course, you have to add the Zone in there. But see, the Zone now is also a pay-per-view platform for selected fighters. So if Gervonta Tank Davis is considered a star, he would be one of those pay-per-view guys. Okay. And from that, I think Gervonta should listen to everybody. Eddie Hearn's right. He's not saying anything wrong or dumb. He's saying everything that any business-minded person should be thinking about and should want to hear. I mean, if they care about business, if they're not really business-minded, they will let anyone that is business-minded take them for a long ride. For example, Leonard Ellerby. Ellerby is a guy that knows what he's doing, but he also knows how to spin things, and he knows how people, because of what they don't know, could cost them to lose a lot of money. Okay. Leonard Ellerby and Eddie Hearn engaged in a lot of back and forth, and now you can see why. Ellerby was jealous of what possibly could happen. He was jealous of Eddie Hearn, not envious, jealous, because he was afraid that Eddie Hearn could come and take his fighter. That's why he was talking about, man, if I see him nowhere, he don't want none of this and he don't want none of that, and man, I'll knock him out. Maybe so. But why would it have to come to blows when you guys are businessmen walking around in suits? Easy. Because Eddie Hearn has spoken interest into Gervonta Tank Davis. Eddie Hearn is promoting Canelo Alvarez. Who looks up to Canelo Alvarez? Gervonta Tank Davis. No boxing, no life. You know he wears that shit. He wears that. He has other people wearing that. Okay, so he promotes Canelo's brand. So you know he looks up to Canelo. Short, stocky, talented. Yeah, go figure. You know, so, and Floyd envies the relationship or the interest that Gervonta Tank Davis has in Canelo Alvarez. Okay, so make no mistake about it. That is what it is. So if Gervonta can look at Canelo and see what Canelo's doing, maybe he would want to do what Canelo does. You know, that would make more sense to me, you know, versus when Canelo was with Golden Boy for the longest and he split. And Gervonta, I would think maybe he might do that. He may split. But if he does, you'll hear silence for a long time from Floyd. The only thing that got me, though, is that Floyd wasn't there. So I'm not really like caught on him really going back to Mayweather promotion just like that. And if he is, if Gervonta's smart and he does decide, well, look, I'm comfortable here with these guys. I know what they're about. I know how my pay is, but I want more of it. Well, let me go somewhere else like Matchroom, hear the offer, and then come back. At least do what Deontay did, because at least Deontay sat down and listened. Him, Al Heyman, his promoter at the time, Lou Duva, and his manager, Shelly Finkel. They at least sat down and listened what they had to offer, seen what the price was, and then went back to Showtime and got what they wanted, got something that they never had before. You can believe that. Okay, so Gervonta, if he's smart, he would exactly go to Eddie and hear what DAZN has structured for him. Sit down with John Skipper, Eddie Hearn, and whoever, right? And see exactly what they have to offer. So at least he can go back and counteroffer. You know, just going back to Leonard Ellerby is dumb. And if he does that and he just signs, that means that means even if he signs for more money, which would be more money, okay, because Leonard is not dumb. He's not going to sign that guy, because Gervonta Tank Davis, I don't think is dumb. I think he is dumb. Well, to be fair, I think he's ignorant. I think he's ignorant to the business world. You know, and the people around him are making decisions are just smarter than him. Okay. But I do believe that he should go and sit down with Eddie Hearn, just like everybody else did, just like Canelo Alvarez did, just like Deontay Wilder did. Well, he went with John Skipper, but that was with DAZN, just like Mikey Garcia did. You know, a lot of people will do that. And if you think about it, if Gervonta wants to get in fights with like Ryan Garcia, that fight could be easily made if he went with Matchroom. Why? Because Matchroom and Golden Boy has the same platform. They fight on the... Triller is almost deader than dead. Okay, but DAZN has kept his own bars. So I think that Gervonta, I think he should listen to Eddie Hearn. I think what he should do is should at least listen to get at least a better perspective or a different perspective of what he's worth versus staying in the same place that he knows. and thinking that he's doing well there, content with what he has. Maybe he's just not a greedy person at all, but who knows? But if I was Gervonta Tank Davis, I would listen, I would observe, and then I would report. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Eddie Hearn saying that he will do almost anything to sign Gervonta Tank Davis. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!